think we've done a good job
Well, I'm
the last.
saying you do a good job. I'm saying
Right.
we don't. Like,
Well,
Presidents don't do a good job.
yeah, I mean, getting the info out is,
All right, there we go. That's quorum.
yeah, basically just
Call to order the meeting of the Verona Common Council meeting on Monday, December 16th, 2019 at 7:01 p.m. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we'll have the roll.
Alderperson Cronin.
Present.
Alderperson Gaskell.
Here.
Alderperson Journey.
Here.
Alderperson Cole.
Here.
Alderperson Posey.
Here.
Alderperson Touche.
Present.
Alderperson Kemp is absent and excused. Alderperson Reekie is expected later.
We have 6, so that's quorum, so we can conduct business. Next, we will move on to item 4, which is public comment. If anyone from the public wishes to speak, now would be the time to do so. Last chance for public comment. All right, I'm not seeing anyone run up to the podium. We'll move on to item 5, which is approval of the minutes from the November 18th, 2019 Common Council meeting. Questions, comments, motions?
Move approval.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alder Touche. Last chance for corrections to the minutes. Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from the November 18th, 2019 Common Council meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Next up, adjust my mic. Next up, we will move on to item 6, Mayor's Business. I just got one item under 6A. We have a vacancy on the Community Development Authority. So I am appointing Mr. Polgaze, if I have that pronounced right. All right, Polglaze. He is a project manager with 501c3 experience, and with the Sugar Creek Commons Elementary School coming into the city's possession and the CDA helping oversee that, I think he has the right sort of experience to help out with that project. Do I need a motion?
Yes.
Okay. So a motion to approve the appointment would be in order.
I'd like to approve the motion to appoint Brett Polglaze to the Community Development Authority.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alder Touche. All those in favor of approving Brett Polglaze's appointment to the CDA signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Next up, we have item 7, announcements. Any announcements from the council? Seeing none, we'll move on to the administrator's report. Mr. Sayer.
Thank you. I don't have too much tonight. We have a CDA meeting this Thursday at 5 p.m. at City Hall. We'll be talking about the Sugar Creek Elementary School property and the RFP for that. So if you're interested, please attend. Alternative side parking is in effect until April 1st. Just as a reminder, everyone, make sure you check when you're parking your car and where you're parking your car according to the calendar. I know we've had to give out a few tickets on that, which we don't like doing, but just remind everyone, watch where you park on the streets. Tax bills were sent out on December 5th. We're taking payments, obviously. Just a reminder, though, City Hall is closed on December 24th, 25th, January 1st, and January 20th. So just a reminder to people on that. The TIF refund checks also were mailed out as well. We've had a few minor issues with those, but overall that's been a relatively smooth process for us, surprisingly and thankfully. We were recently recognized as a bronze bicycle-friendly community. We were a part of a joint applicant with other municipalities in the area. So we have been recognized for our mostly for our latest kind of bike improvements that we've been doing for the last 3 to 4 years. So that's a nice kind of recognition for the city to show that how we value biking. The fire chief recruitment is ongoing, along with the planning director recruitment. And then we had a variety of work anniversaries as listed in your packet. Other thing I have is just, thanks to all the city employees for all they do. Wishing them happy holidays during the season, but thanks for all their great work. It's definitely appreciated by all staff, so thank you to them.
Thank you for that report. Any questions on the administrator's report? If no one has anything, I'll just echo Mr. Sayers' comments and say thank you and happy holidays to city staff. With that, we'll move on to the engineer's report. Ms. Fisher.
Thank you. For the Well 6 pumping station construction, all underground utility work is complete. Concrete block walls are planned to be constructed over the upcoming 4 to 5 weeks. Scaffolding for the masonry work has been set up. Work on the well house building wall should be started by tomorrow. For the high school traffic improvements project, West Verona Avenue has both lanes open in each direction, and it will stay this way until spring when the final surface is placed. Both Wildcat Way and Stewart's Woods Road have the potential to get some work done on them this winter if weather allows. Structure work on West Verona Ave, Stewart's Woods Road, and the Military Ridge Culvert at Wildcat Way will continue throughout the winter. The Military Ridge Trail is closed at the future location of Wildcat Way for the installation of the box culvert and will be closed until the upcoming holidays. For County Highway PD, Woods Road to County Highway M. To facilitate the installation of utilities, Woods Road at County Highway PD will be closed starting Monday, December 16th, 2019, at 7 a.m. for 2 weeks. So that was this morning. A lane closure of the median westbound lane of County Highway PD between Woods Road and east of the Good Shepherd Church driveway will be closed starting Tuesday, December 17th, tomorrow at 7 a.m. for 3 days. Detour routes will be posted. The schedule is weather dependent, and please watch for portable changeable message system updates along the roadway. For Liberty Park Phase 4, rough grading for Liberty Drive extension has started. The sanitary sewer pipe work on Liberty Drive off of the current end of Liberty Drive has also started. And finally, work on the detention basin modification at Fireman's Park started on December 10th, 2019 and continues. So with that, I can take any questions.
Any questions on the engineer's report? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 10, which is committee reports. 10A Finance Committee. Alder Cronin?
Yes. So I would like to make a motion to approve payment of the bills in the amount of $743,504.14, as well as payment in the amount of $1,076,254.78, which encompasses the payout checks for the TID 8 error.
Motion by Alder Cronin. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Posey. Alder Cronin?
By way of explanation, most of the larger payments in the bills relate to highway construction, well 6 payments. There's a payment for the public road for the high school included. None of those are over 100,000.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the motion to pay the bills? Seeing none, all those in favor of paying the bills in the amount specified signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Anything further, Alder Cronin?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we'll move on to 10B, Public Safety and Welfare Committee. Alder Cole.
All right, my first item agenda is 10B1. I'd like to make a motion to approve a Class A beer and Class A liquor license application for Verona Mart Incorporated, 101 East Verona Ave, Verona, Wisconsin, Ijaz Afridi agent.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Alder Touche. Alder Cole.
Ijaz Afridi is purchasing the Verona mobile station from the current owner, Gurpreet Brar, and has applied for a new license for the property. The property is scheduled to change hands December 17th, so tomorrow. This was voted for, recommend for approval in the public safety meeting earlier today.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the motion? Seeing none. All those in favor of granting a combination Class A and Class A beer and Class A liquor license application from Verona Mart Incorporated, doing business as Verona Mobile, 101 East Verona Avenue, Verona, Wisconsin, Ijaz Afridi agent, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Alder Cole.
All right, next 10B2, we're about the City of Verona Warming and Cooling Center policy. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the City of Verona warming and cooling center policy that was recently rewritten.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Cronin. Alder Cole.
The proposed policy would provide guidance for activation of city facilities as warming and cooling centers when the National Weather Service issues a wind chill warning, a heat advisory, or excessive heat warning. The policy would designate the library and the senior center as warming and cooling centers. These locations would serve as temporary locations where citizens would be safe and comfortable during extreme temperatures. Staff recommends approval of the warming and cooling center policy.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the City of Verona's warming and cooling center policy? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the City of Verona's warming and cooling center policy signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Alder Cole.
Next would be 10B3. I'm making a motion to approve the agreement with all city management services for crossing guard services with the condition that the approval is subject to final review by the city administrator and city attorney, which I was told will probably happen by the end of this week.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Touche. Alder Cole.
The proposed agreement with all city management services would provide crossing guard services for the city. The contract would end on December 31st of 2020 with the potential for an extension. The cost for services in 2020 is not to exceed $124,250. The contract also includes language that provides the city with a credit of $40 per hour per location staffed by city personnel. The 2020 police department budget included $125,000 for crossing guard services, and the proposed agreement is less than that budgeted amount. Staff recommends approval of the agreement for crossing guard services, again subject to the final review by the city administrator and city attorney.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the agreement? Alder Cronin.
As part of this agreement, are people who are currently serving as crossing guards going to be given the opportunity to apply? Are they going to be just transitioned into this program? How will that work for existing crossing guards?
Chief Coughlin.
Sure. Yes, they're going to be given the opportunity to apply. We're going to host a meeting with them all on Thursday. The police department's going to be represented there and introduce current staff to the all city management services staff. No guarantee that they're going to be employed, but highly recommended by staff that they do. And I'm optimistic that they will be.
Other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of the agreement for crossing guard services with the conditions specified signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Anything further from Public Safety?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Next we'll move on to 10C Plan Commission. Alder Gaskell.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number R-19-056, approving a precise implementation plan amendment located at 501 West Verona Avenue, 503 West Verona Avenue, 507 West Verona Avenue, and 100 Legion Street that would allow for the construction of 143 apartment units and 26,000 square feet of commercial space, subject to the following condition. Prior to the issuance of building permits, Forward Development Group shall enter into a developer's agreement with the City of Verona.
Motion by Alder Gaskell. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Cole. Alder Gaskell.
Thank you. This proposed precise implementation plan will allow for the construction of 143 apartment units and 26,000 square feet of commercial space. Plan Commission held the required public hearing on December 2nd, 2019 and voted 7-0 to recommend for the approval of the PIP with the aforementioned condition.
You've heard the explanation. Questions, comments on the motion? Alder Journey.
So I know at the Planning Commission meeting this past Monday, it was noted that not all of the buildings will be built at one time, but they'll be phased in based upon market conditions. And my question would be for the part of the lot that is not developed, will there be actions taken to improve the appearance of that lot?
Mr. Sayre?
Sure. So the phase one of this is the kind of the mixed use portion along Verona Avenue. It's the two mixed use buildings. There's one at Legion Street and there's one immediately west of that. There's also the Hotel Convention Center, which is right next to St. Vincent de Paul. The second or third phase, depending how you're looking at it, would be the apartment units along kind of Top Avenue there. So as part of that redevelopment along Verona Avenue, the vast majority of that, but not all of that, would be redeveloped, whether into buildings or parking for the development. There would be a small strip of land kind of on the back side along where the existing Top Avenue would be. That would still be undeveloped per se because it's land as part of that larger redevelopment of those multifamily units back there. But the vast majority of the site that you see out there right now with kind of some of the gravel and some of the holes, that would be buildings would be there. So overall, majority of the site would be redeveloped, but not the whole chunk because there's a small piece in that backside that's part of that phase 2, phase 3.
Questions, comments? Alder Cronin?
Start with her.
Alder Cronin?
Is there a timeline on when the development agreement needs to be in place?
I don't think there's one for the city. I think the developer, would like to get this done as soon as possible. But from our standpoint, there's not a timeline. I think it comes down to we're still working through that development agreement for the potential TIF incentive, and there's also just that agreement as well. There's some public improvements that are needed as part of this project too. But from the city staff perspective, there's not a timeline. But I know the developer would like to see it done as soon as possible.
Alder Touche?
Okay, I think you alluded to it because I didn't remember how the TIF agreement kind of worked out with them. Can you give us a current status of where we're at?
Mr. Sir?
Sure, it's on the agenda for whatever item it is. So
11.
it's on
Is
the
that 12B?
11B.
No.
11B.
Oh, it's 11, excuse me.
11B.
I feel like I'd rather see where we're at on that before we discuss this. Feels out of order.
Well, the project can happen regardless of TIF incentives or not. You do need a development agreement. At least from the city perspective, the project can happen without those incentives, just because looking at the project from a whole, from a development standpoint, that's kind of what you're looking at tonight. The TIF is kind of a separate piece to that is dealt with as a different item. They aren't necessarily tied together, at least from our eyes, as we look at land use versus development and TIF incentives. They're two separate items.
Okay, thank you.
Alder Gaskell?
Am I right? This is just, we're essentially extending this. We had already approved this. It just ran out of its timeline, so we're just
Correct.
reapproving it.
Correct.
Okay.
Other questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of resolution number R-19-056, approving a precise implementation plan amendment located at 501 West Verona Avenue, 503 West Verona Avenue, 507 West Verona Avenue, and 100 Legion Street that would allow for the construction of 143 apartment units and 26,000 square feet of commercial space with the conditions specified, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Anything further from Land Commission? Great. Next, we'll move on to 10D, Public Works, Sewer, and Water Committee. Alder Touche.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item 10D1, I'm making a motion to approve the closeout, project closeout and change order number 1 for project ID 2019-101, 2019 asphalt rehabilitation.
Motion by Alder Touche. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Gaskell. Alder Touche.
Raymond P. Cattell has successfully completed the 2019 asphalt rehabilitation project. And the following streets: the 300 block of William Street, 200 block of South Jefferson Street, and the 300 block of Schweitzler Drive and William Court. Change order number 1 is to rectify as-built quantities for the work required to complete the project. This will close the project with Raymond P. Cattell for the final payment to be issued. The contract notes are below. The original awarded amount was $430,840. We will be subtracting $46,314.80 to bring the final change order to $384,525.20.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the project closeout and change order number 1 for project ID 2019-101, 2019 asphaltic rehabilitation as described by Alder Touche. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Alder Touche.
Thank you. Next up, 10D2. I'm making a motion to approve the project closeout and change order number 1 for project ID 2019-102, the 2019 bituminous seal coat project.
Motion by Alder Touche. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Gaskell. Alder Touche.
Integrity Grading and Excavating has successfully completed the County Highway M/Thousand Oaks and Liberty Drive signals. Change order number 2 is to rectify as-built quantities, and I'm reading the wrong item, my apologies. Farner Asphalt Sealers has successfully completed the 2019 seal coat project in the following areas: County Highway PB, Gateway Estates, Kettle Creek, Kettle Woods, Prairie Oaks, and Prairie Oaks Addition number 1. Change order number 1 is to rectify as-built quantities for the work that was done. The original contract value was $237,870. There will be a deduction of $997.53, bringing the final value to $231,872.47.
Thank you for that explanation. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none. All those in favor of the project closeout and change order number 1 for project ID 2019-102, 2019 bituminous seal coat project, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Alder Touche.
Next up, I'm making a motion to approve the project closeout and change order number 2 for project ID 2018-107, County Highway M, Thousand Oaks, and Liberty Drive traffic signals.
Motion by Alder Touche. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Gaskell. Alder Touche.
As I started saying before, Integrity Grading and Excavating has successfully completed the County Highway M/Thousand Oaks/Liberty Drive traffic signals. Change order number 2 is to rectify as-built quantities for the work required for the project. No significant changes were made during the project recorded. The contract value prior to the change orders was $579,708.96. The change order is to add $1,964.50, bringing the total value to $581,673.46.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the motion?
I will make a comment here. Of all these 3 closeouts, the city will be saving over $50,000 in the end, which is fantastic. But wait till the last 3 items.
Any other questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the project closeout and change order number 2 for project ID 2018-107, County M, Thousand Oaks, Liberty Drive traffic signals, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Alder Touche.
Next up, item 10D4, I'm making a motion to approve change order number 1 for project ID 2016-123, County Highway PD.
Motion by Alder Touche. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Gaskell. Alder Touche.
Payne and Dolan is continuing the construction of the expansion of County Highway PD. The project is in stage 3 of construction and is in winter shutdown right now. Change order number 1 is to rectify quantities of additional work required from changes in the project staging and weather conditions during paving conditions. Examples include temporary paving, asphalt wedge paving, cold weather paving additive, cold weather protection for curb and gutter during concrete curing process, and temporary pavement epoxy painting. The original contract award value was $1,479,552.75. The contract value prior to this change order was $1,479,000, the same amount. Change in order 1 is for $9,696.10. That's the add, bringing the total value to $1,489,248.85.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of change order number 1 for project 2016-123 County Highway PD signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Alder Touche.
Next up, 10D5. Actually, this item and the next item for the same project. I'm making a motion to approve change order number 1 for project ID 2017-115 Well 6.
Motion by Alder Touche. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Gaskell. Alder Touche.
Madrell Excavating is continuing the construction of Well 6 project. Change order number 1 is to rectify change in sanitary sewer construction. It includes substitute sanitary sewer pipe materials from SDR 26 to C900 pressure pipe adjacent to well per permit requirements. It's also substituting an 8-inch pipe with 12-inch along Wayland Road to add capacity to the system for future users. The original contract was for $2,604,102.50. This change order will add $22,575.48, bringing the total value to $2,626,677.98.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of change order number 1 for project 2017-115 well number 6 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Alder Touche.
I'm making a motion to approve change order number 2 for project ID 2017-115 well number 6.
Motion by Alder Touche. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Gaskell. Alder Touche.
Madrell Excavating is continuing the construction work. Change order number 2 is to account for rock excavation and to add a sand filter. Rock excavation encountered during installation of sanitary sewer along Wayland Road, and during the pump testing, sand was found to be present in the water. Just to give some example, 4 of the other 5 wells in Verona have also have the sand and also have the filter in place. Oh boy. The proposed solution is to install an AquaStream suction control device to act as a filter at other locations. This device is a screen that is installed at the end of the pump. The AquaStream is to be installed at approximately 700 feet in length. It takes our contract, which was originally valued at $2,604,102.50, and will have an added amount of $111,462. Total contract value for this will be $2,738,139.98.
Thank you for that explanation. Questions, comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of change order number 2 for project 2017-115 well 6 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Anything further from Public Works?
That is all for tonight.
Great. We will move on to 11, old business. First up, we have 11A, which is discussion and possible action regarding ordinance number 19-954, amending Title 15 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Verona, Wisconsin, relating to the city's electrical building code. Mr. Sayer.
Thank you. In November, we made some changes to the city's building code. These are required by the Wisconsin Department of Safety and Professional Services, DSPS. After making those changes, we sent that off to DSPS, and they said, "Oh, you have more changes to make to your code." So that's why we're back tonight. We have some additional changes to our building code that will update our electrical code to be compliant with state code. We have sent this to the state, I believe, 2 or 3 separate times to just verify this is the last time we have to amend this to be compliant, and they've said yes. So with that, staff recommends approval of the ordinance amending Title 15 of the Municipal Code of Ordinances relating to the city's electrical building code. I'd be happy to answer any questions from the council.
Questions, comments, or motions from the council? Alder Gaskell.
I move approval of ordinance number 19-954, amending Title 15 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Verona, Wisconsin, relating to the city's electrical building code.
Motion by Alder Gaskell. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Rieke. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none. All those in favor of ordinance number 19-954, amending Title 15 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Verona, Wisconsin, relating to the city's electrical building code, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, are we able to combine to one closed session?
Yeah, actually what I was going to suggest is if we could quick move to the 3 items that aren't closed sessions, with the permission of the council if no one objects, and then loop back and then make 2 motions to go into closed session. I think that'll be faster for everybody. With that, I'm going to move we're going to skip 11B temporarily and move on to 12, new business, which is discussion and possible action regarding resolution number R-19-057, approving the creation of a 2020 Census Complete Count Committee. Mr. Sayer.
Thank you. The proposed resolution establishes a complete count committee to help promote and encourage citizens to complete the census. The complete count committee will include staff and citizens. There's already 1 citizen interested in serving on the committee. Staff anticipates additional community and business members assisting with the census in 2020. With that, staff recommends approval of the resolution establishing the complete count committee. In general, what this committee does is encourage people to go out and take it. So we partner with the business community, we partner with the senior center, the library, and we encourage people to take that because federal funding is based upon the census. Our population counts, appointments of federal elected officials, those are all based upon the census. So this year the big push appears to be doing it online. So they're trying to get away from more of the paper and trying to do more online type census taking. But there'll be a big push starting very soon to kind of get people and encourage people to actually take the census. So this committee will help with that. We intend to, like I said, partner with businesses, probably the chamber, and just encourage people to do it. But I'd be happy to answer any questions about the resolution.
Alder Gaskell.
Will the committee be providing assistance to people who may not want to take it online or assist them with taking it online? I want to make this as accessible in as many ways as possible.
Yes, I mean, my understanding is there'll still be paper copies. The preference is to do it online, but there'll still be the traditional paper way of taking it.
And that gets mailed to people?
Oh,
How's
we
that
actually
gonna
haven't,
work?
quite honestly, we haven't gotten the full information from the census yet. They appear to be slowly kicking it off here.
Okay.
It's a little bit slower than it was in 2010, to be honest with you. And 2010 was very hard and big push at that point. But my understanding it's going to be, you can still do it by paper, but the preference will be online. And we'll work with people on that too, and so will the census.
Our senior services director be one of the staff people that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions, comments, or motions? Alder Cole.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number R-19-057, approving creation of a 2020 Census Complete Count Committee.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Cronin. Any further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of resolution number R-19-057, approving the creation of a 2020 Census Complete Count Committee, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. As previously discussed, we're going to move on to 12C, which is discussion and possible action regarding the appointment of election inspectors and special voting deputies for the 2020 to 2021 election term. Clerk Clark?
Thank you. Every 2 years in odd years, the mayor nominates and the council appoints election inspectors for the next election term. In this case, it's 2020 to 2021. So these will be terms beginning January 1st, 2020 and ending December 31st, 2021. Also, the special voting deputies will be nominated. Special voting deputies are the folks who go out to our residential treatment or our residential care facilities so that those people can vote right where they live. So they have a little extra training to do that. There's a total this year of 103 nominees, so we have 103 wonderful election inspectors. We're really excited about that. Also, for the record, I'm required to notify you that 2 nominees, John Nelson and Roger Remus, were nominated by the Republican Party of Dane County as their first choice nominees, which means they must be appointed. The Democratic Party did not submit any nominees. I can answer any questions.
Any questions or comments? So I guess what we're looking for is, well, one, to note that I as mayor am nominating the people as presented in the packet. And then we need the second thing is a motion to approve the nominees from the council. So a motion to approve the nominees would be in order, unless people want to discuss it further. Alder Cole?
Make a motion to approve the nominees in the packet that have been nominated by the mayor.
Motion by Alder Cole. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alder Rieke. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the appointment of election inspectors and special voting deputies for the 2020 to 2021 election term as presented in the packet signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. As discussed, we are on to 12D, which is discussion and possible action regarding the approval of operator licenses. Clerk.
Thank you. I need a motion, please, to approve operator license applications as presented by the city clerk.
Motion by Alder Rieke. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Cronin. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the operator licenses as presented by the city clerk signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And that motion passes. Next, we're going to move back, as previously discussed, to 11B, which is a discussion and possible action item regarding the development agreement for the Sugar Creek Commons project in TID number 9. Is there anything we can say in open session, Mr. Sayer?
The only thing I can say is the Common Council discussed the Sugar Creek Commons Development Agreement in closed session on July 8th and September 30th. Staff is requesting another closed session to update the council on negotiations with the developer and to gain direction from the Common Council on future negotiations with the developer on the development agreement.
If I may, do we anticipate we'd be having an agreement or tonight or some action by the council, or is this going to be an ongoing?
I don't anticipate any action by the council tonight.
Okay. And then regarding 12B, is there anything we can say in open session regarding that?
Okay. So Mr. Jacobson is working on a land acquisition located at 319 and 411 Lincoln Street. The acquisition's for the replacement of the Esight Interceptor that's located along the Badger Mill Creek. This project requires either easements or parcel acquisition. City staff has discussed the project needs with the property owner and the interest in the property. The property is adjacent to the Badger Mill Creek and just east of Lincoln Street. The parcels that we're looking at, there's one that's 8.6 acres and 5 acres in size. And staff is requesting a closed session discussion with the Common Council to talk about this potential acquisition of land.
Any questions or comments in open session on this one? All right, seeing none, we will move, I will say a motion to go into closed session regarding 11B would be in order. Alder Gaskell.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion we go into closed session to discuss the development agreement for the Sugar Creek Commons project and tax incremental district number 9. The Common Council may convene in a closed session as authorized by Wisconsin statute 19.85 parent 1 parent E for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons deem a closed session necessary. Common Council may convene an open session to discuss and take action on the subject matter discussed in the closed session.
Motion by Alder Gaskell. Is there a second? Seconded by Alder Rieke. This is, of course, a roll call vote. If the clerk would read the roll.
Alder Cole?
Aye.
Alder Posey?
Aye.
Alder Rieke?
Aye.
Alder Touche?
Aye.
Alder Cronin?
Aye.
Alder Gaskell?
Aye.
Alder Journey?
Aye.
We will move into closed session shortly. A motion to move into closed session regarding 12B would also be in order. Alder Cronin.
I would like to make a motion to move into closed session regarding the land acquisition for parcel 5 and 6 for project 2018-108 Esight Interceptor replacement located at 319 and 411 Lincoln Street. The Common Council may convene in a closed session as authorized by Wisconsin statute 19.85 parent 1 parent E for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons deem a closed session necessary. The Common Council may reconvene in open session to discuss and take action on the subject matter discussed in the closed session.
Motion by Alder Cronin. Is there a second? Think that was Alderiki was first. This is a roll call vote. If the clerk would read the roll.
Alder Cole,
Aye.
Alder Posey,
Aye.
Alder Rieki,
Aye.
Alder Touche,
Aye.
Alder Cronin,
Aye.
Alder Gaskell,
Aye.
Alder Journey.
Aye.
All right, and we will move into closed session as soon as we get the doors closed. Back in open session at 8:21 p.m. Regarding 11B and 12B, we had a good discussion and negotiations are ongoing. With that, we'll move on to item 13, adjournment. Motion to adjourn would be in order. Motion by Alder Rieke. Is there a second? Second. Second by Alder Cole. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And we are adjourned at 8:22 p.m. Thank you.